What's up, nozzle heads? Today we are talking about line width, and just like the serving size on that bottle of wine, it's often overlooked, but it's a pretty important slicer setting. So line width is just simply what is the thickness of the walls of your 3D print. Now, in theory, if you have a higher line width, your print is going to be sturdier, it's going to have better bed adhesion, and then it's also going to print faster. So all great things. But on the flip side, number one, you could lose fine detail of your print if you have too high of a line width. And then also it can cause some issues like nozzle clogs and the blobs on the 3D print and other flaws within your final object. So normally, and the rule of thumb is to keep it relatively, the line width, a little higher than your nozzle size, about 150%, and then experiment with going higher than that, seeing how your 3D printer does, and of course, based on what you want to do and the fine detail you need. So let's take a look at a series of 3D prints where we adjust only the line width, and let's see what the differences are and conceptualize what the setting actually means. All right, I am going to speed run through a series of prints to help you see the tangible difference that line width is making in your 3D prints. First, we're going to look at the inside of your prints. This is just essentially a well. It's concentric squares. And so on the right, I have the default line widths and the settings that I use to print this. Focus on the outer wall line width and the inner wall line width. Note that the outside is 0.42, the inside's 0.45. Again, this is default, this is what you'd expect, and the inside is slightly bigger than the outside. Again, exactly what you would expect, but now you can see it. The sparse infill, we see that this is default setting. Again, looks pretty normal, but take a note on what the bottom of the print looks like and specifically what this infill looks like at the moment. The last thing I want to highlight is the bottom of the print. If I could set it up here, this looks cohesive, looks exactly as you'd expect. It's all one unit, it works well, you can't see layer lines, it's all good. I'm not going to bust my balls. Please just trust me. This is sturdy. It is not going to break. You're going to have to really put some force and effort into breaking this. That is print number one. All right, we are now comparing the 0.3 line width model that is here on the right with the 0.4, which is on the left, just for comparison's sake. The one on the left is what we just looked at. So outer wall, inner wall, 0.3 millimeters. Guess what? The walls are thinner than they are over here. That is exactly what you would expect. That is what you see. Also note that here on the left and on the right, because we have 0.3 millimeter line width, we have more little boxes. You can fit more of them in there, so that's what you see. Okay, kind of neat, expected, sure. Now this is interesting. The bottom of the 3D print, you can start to see layer lines. And what I'm going to try to do here for you is flip this. Remember, our initial layer width now is 0.3 millimeters. And take a look. You can start to see the light come through the bottom of the print. Now, the bottom of this is fully intact. It's fully cohesive. But it's thin enough you can now start to see some light come through. That is a major impact, and why that's impactful is because I'm not saying if you look at this it's going to crumble, but there's more give to this print than there is with the default. So if you want a print that needs to be rugged and robust and handle a lot of force, you really want to watch your line width, because the thinner you make that, the weaker it's going to be. All right, I'm going to blow your nips off with this question. Which print has the highest line width? That's right, it's the one here on the far right. I know you're not an idiot. The one on the left is default. The one in the middle is 0.3. The one on the right is an entire millimeter line width. You see outer wall, inner wall, really thick. That adds a lot of strength and integrity to your print. You also see the infill. We don't even have a box. We have this weird star pattern. It's because that line width is so thick. It's a millimeter. Take a look specifically on the bottom. We see the actual lines that are being printed. And if we flip this bad boy over, we see it even more. We see the actual lines because they are an entire millimeter. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you can see them. So if you want a flawless print, that may not be your method. However, the advantage to this is it is much stronger and much more structurally sound, the integrity of it. It also takes less filament and less time. So there's some advantage here. So now I have another series of prints that we looked right here about what is happening on the inside. Let's look what's happening on the outside. You aren't going to learn anything on this channel without the use of a Pokemon, and this is Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur here is going to show us what the expectations are when you have a 0.4 millimeter nozzle and you use the default settings in Bamboo. Not going to spend a lot of time here. We've got really good detail, no visible flaws. The little markings on his body look good. Look at that butt, solid. Bulb looks good. Everything there is good. The bottom maybe could have been a little better just in terms of like the adhesion and his low stringing and things, but I think that's just, it was the first print in the morning I ran. This is A-okay. Let's take a look at his brother. His brother is 0.3 millimeter line width, and honestly, going from 0.4 to 0.3, I wouldn't really expect too much difference. Maybe if I really try, some of these body markings might be slightly more detailed, but I mean, it's very minimal. Honestly, I would say stick to the default. The default, I forgot to mention, was 8 grams, and it took around 28 minutes to print. This 0.3 was still 8 grams of filament, but it took 39 minutes. So a decent amount more time, and I mean, it looks good. Look at the bottom. That is actually what I expected. That is much better bed adhesion and no stringing, no flaws, but it really doesn't look that much better than the default. So go with the default. That's my humble opinion. Don't look now, but Bulbasaur has a sister, and she's a burly gal. She was printed with a 1 millimeter line width. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to admit, I was pretty surprised. I really thought we would lose some detail in the print, and we really didn't. The body markings look really good. All of the shapes, the details are there. I really thought there would be a difference. There's not. However, what we do see are some flaws. So right here in the top of Bulbasaur's head, we see some flaws here, here, and here. I mean, there's no supports there. That's just line width, and that's errors and flaws because of the line width that we've chosen. The bottom looks okay. Again, you can still see the line widths, and you can see the lines there. Not a big deal to me. The biggest issue for me is, I'm just going to take a little gander and take a look at this one. So no line down the bulb. We see a considerable line. Now this is because there's a seam setting, which we're going to get to one day, but it becomes more apparent with a high line width. Also, if you take a look at his butt, he's got a droopy butt right there. Now we see that filament starting to fall down. That is just a consequence of having a high line width. However, there are some advantages. Number one, this physically feels heavier. I mean, I know it's only 3 grams. This is 11 grams. These are 8 grams. I feel that this is heavier. It also, I can feel, is more structurally sound. It could take a bigger beating. It also prints in 21 minutes. 21 minutes, the default was 28 minutes. The 3 millimeter was 37 minutes, something like that. So much lower. So there's advantages. So we've seen what the inside of the prints look like. We now see what the outside of the prints look like. Now you can fully conceptualize what are the consequences of line width in your 3D printing. So now we've experimented with line widths and we've seen some pretty surprising results in my mind. You don't really lose much fine detail at all. You print faster and you don't really use much more filament. So I, for one, am going to be increasing my line width from now on. Now, it's crazy how I'm just really surprised that we didn't get more loss of fine detail. Now, I am using a Bamboo Lab P1S. So I will admit on my Sovol, the results are a little different. It does not handle the increased line width as well. So test this on your own printer and see, maybe you could benefit from using a higher line width as well. I hope that's the case, and I hope you enjoyed the video, learned something, and until next time, happy printing.